You're right, Chisom. Dependency isn't development. It's just debt with lipstick. This the over reliance on donor funding crippled Africa and actually increased corruption. And that is why most African states are not even independent, because whoever pays the piper determines the tune of the song. So at the end of the day, we've had most African countries, even Zimbabwe, having to be mortgaging or trading our natural resources for this funding that they get from Russia, China, you name it, and all that. And most African states are actually in debt because of this so-called aid, because it is just not free aid. How then do we claim sovereignty when we beg for budgets from the aim? To what extent is AU independent? What is funded by the EU? We need our own institutions. I believe that an African monetary fund is possible with the political will and with the leaders with the right frame of mindset to do this. Every African state can actually put in a certain amount of money into this fund, the very same way every state in the world was putting money into who? If they were putting money into multilateral institutions which they could not control, why can't they converge as African leaders and actually fund their own African monetary fund, their own African health organization, independent credit ratings, intra-African trade, etc., etc.? It is possible, but there is no will, because we were taught to be divided against each other according to tribe, according to religion. We do not trust each other as African people. We start looking at ourselves as South African, Nigerian, and whatever state you look at. But we've got EU as a bloc. They are united even though they're different countries. But we're failing to do that as African people while they continue to loot our resources and make money from us. I think we really need a paradigm shift of mindset as African people. But we're not going there because we are too consumed trying to make the big brother Sam in America very happy to the expense of the African child. We need to wake up and start owning our means of resources, start processing our cocoa, our gold, our diamonds, everything, and start selling those things as processed goods. We need to have our own currency that defines us. Why do we still keep using US dollar when we've got many African states that are actually on sanctions from the very same Americans? It's an oxymoron. Why are most West African countries still using the franc? So these are conversations we now need to have at continental level, different states, on how we can actually work together and build a formidable economic hub